Welcome to Why Real Estate, everyone. We're grateful that you're listening in and watching us. Please do us a favor and like and subscribe, okay? Here we are trying to share the most fundamental nuggets in regards to buying and selling property, whether it's for investment or your personal residence. All of the things that we share, we try to bring great value and explain why they're important. So today is no different. Very critical part of real estate is cleanliness. And we have the owner of Lily the Clean Queen, Jeremy Brady, here with us today. I like the name Lily. I've got one of my twins is named Lily. Great name. And one of the three things that I talk about with people when I'm going to go list their home, you need to declutter, depersonalize, and deep clean. Okay? Those are non-negotiables if you're trying to max what you're going to get out of your home when you sell it. And there's very real data and statistics that back up what you will get out of your home if you do those things. And so our focus today on our podcast is deep cleaning, making sure your home is clean, odor-free. I mean, the strongest scent tied to memory is smell. Yes. And if you have the wrong smell in your house, okay, you're going to repel buyers. And it happens. It's obvious when it occurs. When I'm showing a home and there's a certain type of smell, I can see it in my client's face and it almost devalues everything else that's fantastic about the home. So, Jeremy, what can you tell us about the importance of a clean home when listing?
Clean homes, like everything boils down to presentation on a home. Can the person who's walking through the home picture themselves living there? And just like those three things that Lane stated, they oftentimes cannot if all three of those needs are not met. And a big one boils down to cleanliness. There's no bigger turnoff than you trying to envision yourself living in a new home with someone else's mess. Right off the bat, that's a deal breaker for a lot of individuals. I've got a few statistics here that just kind of support that. You've got the National Association of Realtors states that a deep cleaned and staged home sells on average 15% faster. Ironically, down in Australia, the Real Estate Institute of Australia did a similar study and proved that a dirty home with poor presentation sits on the market for 25% longer. Those two statistics right off the bat really drilled home to that. But at the same time, a lot of other studies that have been done by Zillow, that have been done by MarketWatch, a lot of these come down to the fact that right off the bat, people have told Zillow, I will not give their requested price for a home if it's dirty. Like, I'm going to offer below the price they're requesting. And yeah, so a lot of perceptions happen in that first split second when they walk into the home, and what they see and what they experience and how they emotionally feel in that home.
And we recently went through a market, during COVID, right after COVID started, and for a year or two where it was just hot. Like, you could throw a house made of a pumpkin, and it would sell, right? However, what you just said held true even during that time when it was heavily a seller's market, where still, if you want top dollar, you've got to have a clean home in any type of market. And right now, currently, you have to especially be willing to do what it would take from the details to the details on cleanliness when we're in a higher interest rate, a little bit more of a buyer's market. You would better, as a seller, put your best foot forward and have the cleaning done. If you're not willing to make the sacrifice to do it, as far as the work itself, which some people don't have the time to, no fault of their own, they've got busy with kids and family and work and different things, definitely hire a professional. Here in Utah, hire Jeremy and his team. They'll dig in, they'll get it done. One thing about Jeremy that I love is he'll show up at the job project sometimes, and he doesn't show up to sit there and supervise. He gets down on his hands and knees and is scrubbing and doing the work, with his crews. And so cleanliness is huge, and it's so important that your home is presented in a way that will make the person, again, have no reason not to want to offer on it, right? Is there anything else about, a home, even on a regular basis, how important would it be to keep your home professionally cleaned on a regular basis so when the time comes to sell the home?
That makes a big difference on the amount of effort involved in getting your home ready for sale. If you've got, either family chores or a professional cleaner that is coming in regularly, weekly, bi-weekly, your house is never going to drop down to those standards that are really difficult and time consuming to recover from. There's a lot of situations where we'll step foot into a home, step foot into a property, and it's apparent that it's not even been surface cleaned in potentially 5 or 10 years. And the amount of time and effort required to get that home ready for sale and ready to fetch top dollar is so much more difficult than stepping into a property that has been regularly cleaned and regularly maintained. It also really impacts the sellers themselves on how they perceive their own home. I mean, once their home hits that point, they don't want to live there anymore. They're looking for a change. And oftentimes, as simple as a home remodel and getting it clean is enough change to take care of that.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I was referred to just yesterday. I was talking to a client whose home we're trying to get ready to list. You sent your crew over there. And since then, they've done, they were supposed to have it ready when your crew went in, and it wasn't quite ready. And I got referred to as being a little intense because it's my name on the line.
Yes.
If they're going to list that house, and the presentation is everything, like you said at the beginning, right? And so I went through and I see on the mantle dust, and I see, and one of the spouse to, of the couple, one of the spouses said to the other couple when I wasn't there, and the other one shared this with me. Well, you know how intense Lane is? Yeah, wow, he's intense. And I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to do what's best for you. At the end of the day, your bottom line matters to me.
Yes.
And this is one of the best things you can do from a value add to make sure you have pride of ownership. You send a clear message that it matters, that this house was taken care of. And if you're a buyer, definitely go in and get it cleaned beforehand. Okay, before you move in, if you can get a cleaning done, whether you do it or somebody else, it's worth it. Ultimately, you don't know exactly what's been in that house before you buy it. But for the sake and health of your own family, I highly recommend it. Jeremy, thanks for being on.
Yes.
Appreciate you a ton.
I appreciate your time, Lane. Thank you.